Hello and welcome to a video tutorial of the WpContentRanker plugin. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can use the plugin on your own WordPress sites. And you can use this on existing posts or on brand new posts, and to work with it is exactly the same regardless of what type of post you're working with. So towards the top right hand side you'll see this section here that gives you control to the entire WpContentRanker plugin. So let's start off with each one at a time. So I'll click on show to start off with, and when we click on show we're prompted, or we actually get to see this dialog box. Now this dialog box can actually be expanded to become larger and smaller as you wish. And what we're going to do now is actually add the keyword that we're looking to analyze content for, or we're looking to actually create content about, or what our existing content is already about. So for this example, I'm going to go with Google Mobile First Index Update, and I'm going to click on search. But before I click on search, depending on your license type, you're going to be able to select from Google, Yahoo or Bing. Okay, so I'm going to choose Google and I'm going to click on search. What the software is doing now, it's searching Google, or it's visiting Google, and it's searching for our keyword, which is Google Mobile First Index Update. It's going to go ahead and it's going to get the top 10 ranking sites inside of Google, and it's going to perform some analysis on those top 10 ranking sites, and it's going to give us various pieces of content that we can work with, and it's going to allow us to perform a number of analysis on our existing content or content that we're going to be adding to make sure that it's fully optimized for a page 1 ranking. So let me show you exactly how this works. So the plugin's already completed its analysis. And again, as mentioned guys, you can always increase this and make this larger if you want, or whatnot. Okay, so we'll just work with this size for the time being. In fact, we'll actually make it a little bit smaller, and we'll make it a little bit larger from the bottom. Okay, so what the software does now, or what the plugin's done, is given us SERP data to start off with. The SERP data shows us the keyword that we're actually analyzing. It shows us the total number of competing sites in Google, so 32,600,000 results. It gives us the minimum and the maximum page authority, the minimum and the maximum domain authority, and the average number of backlinks for the top 10 ranking sites inside of Google. Underneath this, it gives us related terms that Google is giving us for the actual keyword, Google Mobile First Index Update. So these are terms related by Google themselves. So these are terms such as what is mobile first indexing, mobile first index SEO, Google Mobile First Index Strategy, Google Mobile Indexing, and whatnot. Towards the bottom, we get to see the actual URLs for the sites that are ranking inside of Google. We get to see the page authority for each one of them URLs. We get to see the domain authority for the actual domains. We get to see the Moz rank for each URL, and we also get to see the number of backlinks for each one of them URLs as well. And if any videos are found to be ranking inside of Google, then we also get to see the title and the video here as well. Okay, so let me get over to the very cool thing. First of all, this area here is just giving you a quick snapshot of what's ranking in Google at the time of you performing this search, and it also gives you a good estimation if you're if you like to look at metrics to estimate how difficult or easy it's going to be to break into the top 10 of Google. Okay, but the really cool thing about this plugin and where it really stands out is how it allows you and how it displays all of the content for these sites so that you can use it on your own sites to your advantage as well, or get inspiration and get ideas as well. So let's go over and investigate each one of these tabs down here. So the All tab to start off with gives us all of the content for each one of these top 10 ranking sites inside of Google. So let me show you how this works. So the very first thing is we get to see this is site number 1. It gives us the actual URL. We can click this URL and we can visit in our browser if we want. Alternatively, we can have a look down here and actually go through all of the content that this website has in terms of text on their site. Now the really cool thing about this as well guys is, let me just show you, if you like this, let's just say for example you're constructing your own post or you wanted to add some more details. If you like this, you can actually take and you can highlight pieces of text, and then you can drag it and drop it to where your cursor would be, and everything will be added like for like onto your own site as well. So let me just give you another example as well. So I'll go on here. Oops, I'm already right at the top down there, right? Okay, and let's just say, for example, I wanted to take this quote. I can take this quote, I can highlight it all, drag it and drop it inside of here. And it's been added like for like. And if we go over to the text area and we go all the way to the bottom as well, as we can see, we're using this as a heading 1 tag. And the reason it's come in as a heading 1 tag is because that's exactly what this site is using as the heading 1 tag here as well. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of this anyway. Because I don't want it, but I'm just giving you an idea of how we can actually drag and drop text on here, and then later on we can go ahead and spin text as well if we wanted to do that. But the really cool thing about this is that we can go through and navigate through each one of these sites and look at all of the text for each one of these sites and visit each one of these sites as well. But we also understand that it's fairly confusing. You don't know what's going to be a heading tag. You don't really know exactly how they've optimized just by looking at the content. But just by looking at the content down here, because you're not going to see any links clickable in here or anything like that. So what we've done is we've created these various other tabs, so you can actually go through all of these anyway, guys. And we've created all these various other tabs that actually show you all of these websites text, but we've differentiated or we categorize them into titles, headings, metadata, LSI terms and whatnot. So let me show you this in action. So we'll go over to the titles area, and with the titles area we can now see the titles for all the top 10 ranking sites. So if we wanted to work and we wanted to work on titles, we can just head over to the titles category. And the cool thing about this is you don't need to highlight everything down here. Depending on your browser, you might need to. But the way we've actually worked with this is you can actually hold and click on this and drag it into the area, and it'll drag the whole entire title for us. So we could actually do this and drag the entire titles. Okay, let me show you some more areas as well. So the headings. Now these are the headings that are used by these top 10 ranking sites inside of Google as well. And we've split them into heading 1s, heading 2s, heading 3s, heading 4s. So you can see exactly how these sites that are ranking inside of Google are actually optimizing their headings, and then you can actually go ahead and be in a position to actually work with this as well and construct your own headings as well. Now of course, the weaker the competition is going to be for the keyword, then the weaker you'll be finding these headings. But the more difficult the competition is going to be for these keywords, then the more precise and the more on topic you're going to be finding websites using their headings and optimizing more correctly. Okay, and with this you can do exactly the same. You can just drag and drop over to here. And the really cool thing about this is that this is a heading 2 and we've dragged in a heading 2. If we go over to the text area here as well, what you'll notice is that this heading here has actually been dragged in as a heading 2 as well. So let me just go over and actually drag over a heading 4 and give you an example of what I mean. Okay, so we'll drag over a heading 4 now, so follow us online, for example. Okay, I'll go over to a text area, and what you'll notice is that we have one heading 2 and we have one heading 4 now as well. And the reason behind it is because of the way the software has recognized that these websites are using it as a heading 1. You want to copy what they're doing, and it's allowing you to add it as a heading 1 as well, or a heading 4 or whatnot. Okay, you got metadata as well. Now this is the metadata that these top 10 ranking sites are using. So it's going to show you the meta description if they're using a meta description. Not all sites do. And it's going to show you tags if they're using tags. Not all sites are using meta tags as well. Okay, and that's why you've only got 2 here that are showing you meta tags and only a few here that are showing you meta description. Not all of the sites are using them. If you do a search something like for SEO, then I'm sure you're going to find many more. Okay, and you can actually use these as well, drag and drop them as well. Okay, now let's go over to LSI terms. LSI terms are really cool. It allows us to see single keywords, 2-phrase keywords, 3-phrase keywords, 4-phrase keywords, if there are any 4-phrase keywords found on here as well. Now what this does, it uses all of the text that are found on the top 10 ranking sites inside of Google. It then cross-references all of the text with each site, and it displays how many times those words have actually been used on them 10 sites after combining and analyzing and cross-referencing all the text together. And it actually shows you in brackets how many times and how popular these words are on these top 10 ranking sites. Okay, so as you can see, we've got Google, mobile site, index, desktop, content, search, SEO, which you can see would be very, very related to Google mobile first index. You've got mobile site, you've got page speed, you've got mobile version, you've got search engine, you've got mobile user agent, you've got social media management. And the really cool thing about this is if you've already got text on your site, then you can actually click on check keywords. And what this will do is it'll actually scan your content that you've already got on your site, and it will put a a tick near each word or each phrase that you're using, and it will allow you to focus on keywords that you're not using. So have a look at this. I'm talking about Google Mobile First Index Update, and I'm not even using the keyword SEO inside of my content. So this would be a very good keyword to add inside of the content. Adding marketing, talking about page speed would be very good, talking about results, talking about social, things like page speed, mobile. I'm not even using mobile site on my content that's about a Google Mobile First Index Update. So these are kind of keywords and terms that the software or the plugin will pick out and allow us to identify to optimize our posts even more. Okay, let's go over to images. Now images show us all of the images that were added onto the top 10 ranking sites inside of Google as well. So all these sites, what images are they using? Now we've got a number of controls that we can add in the back end as well to exclude very large images and exclude very small images as well. I don't think I've got anything set up in particular, so you might see all sorts of images. But the really cool thing about this is you can scroll up and down, have a look at these images, and you can go ahead and you can go ahead and actually, so this is an actual image guys. Oh no, this is an actual URL to this image here. Okay, so you can actually have a look at what kind of images these websites are using. You can even see the URL for the image, and you can see how large the image is as well. Now the really cool thing about this is if you want to work with images, now let's say for example you found an image that you was allowed to use and you wanted to use it, then what you can do is you can actually use the exact same drag and drop feature. You can drag this image to the area you want to add it and the image will be added. But let me show you exactly what happens. So I'll click on the text view to see what's happened. Okay, and this has actually been added from the source from search engine land, because that's where it was added from. But now let's just say for example you didn't want to add it from the source and you wanted to upload it upload it into your own media library. What you can do then is really cool as well, is you can actually add your cursor wherever you want on your post, and then you can click on add. And what will happen here is this will get uploaded to your media library and it'll get added to your post area as well. When I actually go over to the text area, what you'll notice now is that this image is actually coming from my own website, which is abbasravji.com, and this is the actual site I'm actually using this plugin on. Okay, I don't want to use this though. However, this is what you can do. So it's really cool because you can get some good inspiration ideas of what kind of posts people are using or the top 10 ranking sites are using inside of Google. And at the same time, if you find that these images were reusable, like say for example you're targeting the plumbing industry and you've got gas safe registers, official boards that you can put on your website, then it's really cool. You can just drag and drop them or whatever. So yeah, you can work with images as well. You also, the software or the plugin also goes ahead and does a YouTube search to show you what kind of videos are ranking inside of YouTube. And I believe this is actually my video, I'm not sure. The Google Mobile First Index Update, how it affects you. It is, look at that guys, this is actually my video that's ranking on page 1 of YouTube as well. So what you can do with this as well, again, really cool guys, you can just drag and drop into the area and it's going to add the video for you, a full embed of that video for you, which is really cool. I'm going to show you some other areas that you can use this with in a moment as well, and why it is really cool. And you can do this with all these videos. So if you want to add some additional reading or additional videos for your users to come and actually look at and view, then you can do from here as well. And then you get ads. You don't see any ads here at the moment, and the reason behind it is because no one's adding any ads inside of Google for Google Mobile First Index Update. What we can do though is we can maybe do something like SEO services. And we can do a Google search for SEO services. Now obviously this search is going to be placed in the location of where my server is, or where my blog is hosted, where my server is. This is, I believe, inside of the USA. However, if you want to be more precise with where your queries and your everything gets taken place, then you can actually work with proxies. When you look at the settings, when you look at the video telling you how to configure the settings, then you can actually work with geolocated proxies and whatnot. And we actually got a feature for our users whereby you're going to be able to search for based on URLs of your choice as well, but we'll talk about that in a different video. So yeah, here we go. So this is SEO services. If we go over to ads, what we can do now is see that we've got adverts, inside of Google, and these are the adverts that the plugin picked up for us. We can see the actual URLs, and we can see the descriptions and the actual content used for these ads as well. So if you are actually creating ads for yourself and for your own campaigns, then it can be a good way to actually work with this. Let's see if we can actually find guitar lessons tutorial. I'm just seeing if I can find a video that's ranking on the first page of Google, and if we can, we'll be able to, oh, here we go, brilliant. So absolute super beginner guitar lessons, your first guitar lesson. So this is a video that's ranking inside of Google. If I click on this, you can see that this was the video that's ranking inside of Google, and the software's actually picked that up. So yeah, if it's got ads, it will show ads. If it's got videos, it will show videos. If it's got tags, it's going to show the meta tags and descriptions as well. And if it hasn't, then it's not going to show it. So anyway, let me show you some more things that you can do with this as well. So let's say, for example, I did add some text. So let's just, we've got all guitar text here, but not to worry. Let's just say, for example, we added this text here. So we dragged it, oops, we dragged it. Okay, the very first thing to do is to actually have your post wherever you want it, put your cursor where you want it, and obviously this is a flyover area, okay, and you can actually cross this whenever you want, guys, and you can actually click on show whenever you want, and it's going to bring back your same area and your same dialog box. So you can highlight what you want. Oops, let me just do this one more time, guys. Oops, I don't know why this is not doing it for me. Okay, so after you highlighted it, just hold it down with your mouse key wherever you want, just not at the beginning, so it makes it easier, and that's been added there. So let's just cross out of that. Now let's just say, for example, I wanted to spin only this text here. I didn't want to spin anything else. So what I do is I only highlight the text that I want to spin. Okay, I'll come up here and I click on spin, and what's going to happen now is this text here, as you can see, guys, it's been spun. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully I'll be able to pause the video or something, or you'll be able to pause the video and see that's been spun. Nothing else was spun. If I want to spin just this text here, I highlight the text and I click on spin and give it a few moments, because this needs to communicate with Spin Rewriter or the best spinner, whichever one you're actually working with. And it should spin. Okay, so it didn't look like it wanted to spin that because there's nothing there to spin. But what we'll do, we'll actually highlight this here and we'll click on spin, and hopefully it'll be able to find some synonyms or whatnot to spin that. So there you go, in today's video clip. So it's all been spun. So there you go, guys. This is how you can work with this. But that's not the only thing that you can do with this plugin as well. Now, the really cool thing about this plugin is you're able to, let's just say, for example, you've got a blog post and you come along and you find out, well, you know what, you need to add some more words in here and you need to add some more content in here, but you don't want to affect how your article reads. Instead, what you can do now is add an additional reading section as well. Now, the additional reading section is really cool, and I'll show you how to work with this. So let's just say, for example, I'll click on additional reading. First, I have my cursor where I want it, and it's going to ask me how many items do I want to add and how many do I want to show. So I'll go with the default 6 and 3. I'll come down here, and as you can see, it's telling me I've got areas now to add titles and then details down here, but it's only going to show 3, but I can add 6 areas. So with each page refresh, our user is going to be able to see randomly 3 of the things that I add inside of here. So I can add videos in here if I want. So for example, I can write Google mobile, okay, I'll just write Google video. I'll write mobile video. Okay, I'm just giving you a very vague example down here, guys. Okay, but what you'd use is you'd use whatever additional information you want to show your users, whatever additional content you want to show your users as well. Okay, so this is actually an example of what we're doing. Is an additional box is this area here that the software creates. Okay, and what you'll see is it's showing 3 things. You can put videos in here, you can put images in here, you can put opt-in forms in here, whatnot you. Okay, if I click on refresh, just watch the order. Okay, so I don't think that changed, did it? Okay, so as you can see, you've got a video backlink here now. So I've only got 6 items in here. You can choose to add so many more, whatever you want. And it'll change over the order as well. Not only will it change the order, if there's other content to be added as well, then it'll rotate and randomly show the 6 areas. So the really cool thing about this is that it allows you to get indexed for more keywords. It gives your users an interactive tabbed area to go ahead and read and provides you with areas to add even more additional content. Okay, so let's go back over to the website, and the way this would work is when it goes to, like, say for example, Google Video. Let's just say I wanted to add a video in here. I can go ahead and add a video in here as well. Now, if I find that video is too large, I can go ahead and change that as well. But let me just go ahead and add some videos in here just to give you an example of how this would work. Obviously, I'm going to come back over and delete this. Now, I don't have to add videos only. I can add images as well. Okay, and you can use your HTML editor and do whatever you want here as well. You can you can center everything as well. So we come down here, look for the table body. Here we go, showing 3 only, and we can add a center tag here. And we can go for the very end of the body as well, table bodies that is, and I can add a center tag here as well. Align everything in the center, click on update. Oops, we've even messed up on that video, haven't we? Not the video, but I mean the title. I changed this title here, which I didn't want to change. But anyway, not to worry, I'll actually go over to the blog post and you'll see what I mean. Okay, so this is all messed up here because this is way too large, but I'll show you exactly how you can get over this in a minute. So as you can see, this is all getting changed over. Okay, and the way you'd control this, guys, is, let's say for example you did have an issue like that and you saw that this table area was too small. So the way you'd control this is you'd add some more spaces before and after these keywords. And what this does, it allows us to increase the tabbed area, okay, because that 2 is only 1 character there, and because that's 1 character, it's not going to really give us a large tabbed area. Okay, so we're going to increase the tabbed area this way. You might have to press this, we might have to do this in HTML view, but it's actually good we've caught this on a tutorial. I'm going to click on update, and hopefully this tabbed area will be larger now. I'm going to click on refresh. Okay, so as you can see, the tabbed area has become larger, and the reason we made it larger is because of all this down here. And of course, this doesn't look too cool down here, guys, but that's because you're going to have the number 4. You're not going to really have a number 4 there. You're going to have something much larger. And then what you can do is actually go ahead and align this in the center. When you align them in the center, guys, then obviously it's going to look much more presentable. So you're going to have to play around with this a little bit and work with this. And when it comes to these videos here, obviously they're way too large. We'll go over to the text area and we'll look for a nice manageable width. So 604 is way too large. So we might go with something like 350. Let's just change these to 350. Obviously, I'm just guessing the figure here at the moment, guys. Anyway, I'm going to delete this from here. Okay, I just changed the title here as well. I'm going to click on update to get rid of this. Okay, now let me show you exactly what else you can do with this as well. So you've got the show dialog box whereby you can go ahead and do all your analysis, get content. You can even go ahead and spin the content after it as well. You can add additional reading. So if you want to add additional areas for people to, for your users to read, for more content to get indexed, and a nice interactive tabbed area that looks cool, and you can do, and everything can actually be configured and changed inside of the settings area as well. What else you can do as well is you can actually syndicate this post as well. So let me just click on syndicate. When I click on syndicate, what happens now is I'm able to choose from Twitter, Tumblr, and Pinterest, depending on your license version. Again, guys, the post title is going to be shown here. And if you want to add a post, sorry, if you want to add an image with the actual syndicated post as well, then you can do. And the cool thing about the plugin is that it opens up your media library towards the left-hand side. You can actually scroll down to look for a good image that will go with this. So let me just try and find one. I don't know if I've got any cool images in my media library down here that I can use. What I will do then is just add video product ranker. Okay, so I'm just going to, okay, no, I think that's a massive image, isn't it? It is. Okay, so I'm just going to write this. I'm going to drag this over, hold the mouse down key, drag it over and put it down here. I'm going to choose whatever site I want to syndicate to. I can syndicate to multiple sites if I want to, and I'm going to click on syndicate, and the software will now go ahead and syndicate your content, and it'll give you the URL of your post. So I can click on this link here, and it's going to show me the URL of this post, which is really cool. It's going to show me the actual content as well, so video, Google mobile first index update and how it affects you, and it's also got my hashtag in there as well, which we can configure from the actual settings area. And when I click on this link here from Pinterest, for example, it goes directly over to this content here that we actually made, which is absolutely brilliant. Okay, so let me go over to here again, and let me show you some other things you can do as well. So you can actually click on settings, and it'll take you over to the settings area. But instead, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go over to all posts, and I'm going to show you one more feature. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to select multiple posts and show you how to syndicate multiple posts at the same time. Let's just do 2 of these instead. Okay, we've already done that one. Let's do these 2 instead. And what I'm going to do now is from this drop down here, I'm going to click on syndicate, and then I'm going to click on apply. What you'll see now is in the next tab, because we already had it open, is you'll see both of those posts with the titles in there. You can go ahead and you can choose whatever sites you want to syndicate to, and you can go ahead and you can drag and drop the images in here again. So I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop this here, and I'm going to go ahead and drag and drop one more image in here, and I'm going to click on syndicate. Now I don't know if I've actually got all of the credentials in for all these 3 blogs, guys, or these social sites, but we'll soon find out in a moment. The software is now going to go ahead and it's going to syndicate the first post to all 3 sites. It's then going to wait a delay depending on what delay you have inside of the settings, and then it's going to go ahead and syndicate the post to syndicate the second post to the next site and next sites, and then it's going to wait a delay and it's going to go ahead and syndicate the next post if you had more posts selected. So let me show you how this looks. So Tumblr, let's open link in Tumblr, have a look at this one here. So this is Tumblr, and as you can see with Tumblr, we've actually added our content inside of here as well from our post. So depending on what social site you're working and you're using with, and this is the actual content from the post that we syndicated. We can go ahead and look at Tumblr on this one as well. This is another link from Tumblr. This is the other image that we used. And the really cool thing about this, guys, is I totally forgot to mention, is when you click these, then they're going to go back over to our actual posts that we syndicated. So this was another one here. When we click this, it's going to go back over to our actual post that we syndicated. Okay, we can go back over and have a look at Twitter as well. See how Twitter looks. Twitter's really cool. We've got our hashtag in there again, and then we've got our link inside of here as well. When we click this, then obviously it's going to go back over to our website. Okay, we can go ahead and have a look and see how Pinterest looks. We've already seen Pinterest, haven't we? But let's have a look, another look at Pinterest again. And there we go. This time we've got online marketing because we've got our hashtags being randomized from the back end. So yeah, there you go, guys. This is the WP Content Ranker plugin. It allows you to search for content, analyze the search engines, get inspiration from the top 10 ranking sites, even reuse their content and spin it. It allows you to syndicate your content. It allows you to add additional reading areas on your blog so that you can get indexed for even more keywords. And obviously, when you're working with the features of adding, say for example, 6, 10, 12, 18 items but only showing 3 or 4 at a time, then the software really does rotate and randomly get you found for even more keywords and index for more keywords. So anyway, I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you have any issues or problems and you need to get in contact with support, then feel free to get in contact with us at support@abbasravji.com.